Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the AI show, and we've got Dan Ray with us this evening from Chicago, and Solomon Jeremiah in the UK, and myself, Frank Falvey from Cork in Ireland. And we're going to have a kind of a broad kind of discussion on AI. Um, Especially Chat GPT that's in the news lately is gaining a lot of attention. Um,
Definitely.
yeah, um, I think a lot of lot of colleges are actually kind of talking out now, like the impact it's going to have on, the stuff that people have to write. So the latest one here in Ireland, there's some college they're working on some artificial intelligence to detect what is this written by artificial intelligence to counteract it. So have you, Solomon, come across Chat GPT in the last week or so?
Yeah, I think the news have been everywhere. Everyone has been seeing it, and recently I also saw Microsoft talking about it. So yeah, I've come across it.
Yeah, one of the lads from the Microsoft garage then was telling me about this guy. He was using Chat GPT for Fiverr. So what he's actually doing is he's asking Chat GPT to write scripts for graphic design, and so if people go on Fiverr and they want to get something graphic design, he asks them for the parameters, what do they want, and he inputs it into Chat GPT, and that gives him all the answers back
Yeah,
to design the
yeah,
actual
yeah.
graphic
I
design.
I think people also I also see people online using it for their project work. So I stumbled into a conversation where people were like talking about students no more paying attention to research. They are just going to drop the project topic there and all the answers in 15 minutes. They get everything. Yeah. So I think it has actually been all over the internet. I've been seeing, hearing conversations about it.
Yeah, I was just playing around with it recently, and Teams Premium, which is one of the features that Microsoft announced fairly recently. I asked ChatGTP to do a dump of features, and it gave me what I would consider maybe premium features from Microsoft Teams, but didn't know about Teams Premium. I just typed this in, what's new with Teams Premium in 2023, and got a interesting answer.
Oh, do you want to bring up the screen?
Yeah, either Solomon, you or Frank should be able to do that at the bottom. So I'm sharing my screen, but there we
Yeah.
go. Cool. Yeah, so you can either regenerate responses with it, or move on to something else, and it kind of understands, similar to a chat, it understands its history too, so it's not limited to what you typed in once. You can actually kind of continue the conversation from there. Can you share a tip or trick with Teams? Schedule and join meetings directly from the app. To schedule a meeting, click on calendar. I always tell people that Teams and scheduling meetings from Teams is probably more of an advanced feature, because Outlook is the 20-plus-year-old, the young adult, if you will, where
Yeah.
Teams is just over 5 years old. And then you also have a stop generating here, which I've had to use occasionally where it where it just seems to go on and on and on, unless you're
Yeah,
looking for
yeah.
a blog post or something.
Oh,
So they're actually making it more available now, aren't they? They're kind of it was crashing a lot there in the early days.
Yeah, when I tried to fire it up maybe an hour before we went live, Frank, I got the message about it. It had reached capacity and the servers were really busy again. But then I just gave it maybe 5 minutes and, it opened up, and then I had left it in a tab kind of with um, logged in and fired up. And then I just had to refresh it to get this, this latest, I guess, build, if you will, or access. And then it's keeping track of the things that I typed before too. So I've got all my examples from the past at my disposal too.
So how did you find those examples of teams that you asked it for? Were they the best ones, or were they kind of just middle of the road?
The Teams keyboard shortcuts weren't too bad. The Azure types of storage, I think, came back pretty valid. I think we did that last week.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's got the Teams premium features. This is the one that just went way off. And these aren't Teams premium features, which just was announced. These are, scaling that it's been doing for quite a while in security and compliance. So if you search for Teams Premium, you find, I think it's basically 3 areas that they're focused on, but they aren't live events or these answers. So it's interesting when it gets things wrong, it gets things really wrong.
Right. When it brought up the Azure storage that time there, then
Mm-hmm.
would it actually give you the pricing of it? I wonder. Would it be
I bet you could ask, so I could go back here and it should understand the context.
what are the
What's
price?
the price? Yeah. So it's similar to returning to, I guess, a conversation you had in the past. And this was, I don't know if it tells you the date that, it doesn't look like it's got like date information like other chat technology, but it's certainly keeping track of previous conversations. There's a clear conversations
So
button
it
here
does
on the
have
left.
it, yeah, it gives you the price of it per month.
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
Yeah. And this has always interested me because, a lot of what MVPs, Microsoft Most Valuable Professionals, get awarded by is contributions made to the community. So ChatGTP could change everything about at least some of those contributions. If I had this, write me an article about Teams features and came up with something that's unique and worded differently than everything else out there, I could consider that like a weekly, a daily almost feature that I could post and share with the community and then put in as contributions. But I think contributions in the future may be a little different than what we thought about in the past, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot more are kind of going to online kind of forums like this, the AI show and Journey to the Cloud one that we run,
Yep.
whereas, people are actually talking about the content and rather than
Yeah.
getting an AI to write some articles for you. Yeah.
And demos, right? That's Solomon. I know you've done demos for us in the past.
yeah. I'm coming back with more demos. I'm just
Awesome.
trying to prepare myself. Yeah. I already have some down, but I just need to arrange myself, and I think I'll be doing more demos now.
Yep, that's good. Um, I've started working on a few demos as well. So I think when Matthew is back next month, we'll organize something for Journey to the Cloud with more
Yeah,
kind
definitely.
of focused on a lot of different areas.
It looks
So
like they may have put up the activation on our AI show February meeting too. So I put this out there as a Sessionize event that opens today, or opened yesterday, I guess, evening, and then is open till January 27th for the meeting that we have on February. What would it be? The first Friday in February, the 3rd, right?
okay.
Yeah.
Have either of you used Sessionize or Frank? I know you have for.
I've never used it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think I saw a lot of people making posts about it this around the beginning of this year or last year. Yeah, so that was when I started hearing more about it, but I've never used it before.
Yeah, so some people use it, some groups, and they get loads of videos or articles, or some go live, and they put it all together. It could be they might have a full week, whereas you need a few people involved to get it, fill out all the times. Isn't that the way it goes then?
Yeah. Did you use this, Frank, when you did the festive tech calendar?
Yeah.
Did
So
you
the
do a
what?
call for speaker or
Well,
fill
what they
out?
had was you uploaded. They gave you a link. You uploaded your video to the link, and they kind of done it in the background then themselves.
Yeah, but
Yep.
with Sessionize, did you use this to actually request, like what you were speaking about and the
Yeah.
dates and things? Yeah.
I logged in with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I've done a fair amount of that, but I had never set up like an event through Sessionize. So it's going to be interesting to see if I missed anything, or I'm assuming I'm the only one who can get to the submissions too. So we'll have to figure out if we get a number of submissions, how to kind of go through those and pick our topics or presenters for the first meeting in February. But hopefully, I thought of everything that we needed for our first meeting in February.
Okay. So we will have Micah, myself, yourself. Is it Noel or
Noelle
Nolene?
is also, yeah, Noelle.
She does a lot with AI, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. So she is in a AI MVP contributor,
Okay.
and then Micah and you have been involved with Journey to the Cloud, and I know AI as a topic. It touches Azure, it touches Microsoft 365. It really touches just about everything.
Yeah,
Artwork.
Yeah, and one of your favorites then, I think, is the Microsoft Designer. You like doing the pictures in that one. Did you
Yeah,
see
I've
that
been
one,
playing around
Solomon?
with that. Solomon, have we sent you over a designer invite yet or
N-
not?
no, I don't think I've gotten an invite.
So it's a tool that is still invite only at this point, and you can either do video types of contributions or you can do AI generated contributions. So I could say I need a bunch of speakers in an auditorium. if I spelled auditorium correctly, this should go off and generate up to 3 photos that I can then use within the tool. So speakers in an auditorium, sometimes it gets it correct. It's similar to a bunch of rectangular rectangle. Let's see if I can get this to respond here to my keyboard. Tangle. Keyboard's acting a little funky. I've got 4 monitors going right now. So I did some testing. Rectangular speakers in a what would you call it besides an auditorium? In a concert venue.
Concert hall.
Yeah, concert hall or something. And you can see they even give you additional ideas of, you can tell it to do this as a painting or a cartoon or just about anything you want. And then it comes up with the different designs. You can use those. So for like Microsoft Speakers Club, we could either use speakers speaking on a stage, or you can do things like put something at the back of a photo here. Let's see if we set as background, if that'll, there it goes. And then I'd have to grab these and maybe change the color of the font that we're using, so you can see those on top. And then you can either download these as, if they have movement, MP4, a GIF, or just a static photograph. So Solomon, I know we've got a number of people that have signed up through the Microsoft Speakers Club. Doing your first design that you've created. Once you download this is my 42nd design. You'll get up here in the upper right 3 invites to invite 3 other people to check out the Microsoft Designer. So the AI piece of it is definitely that generation, text to image generation.
Oh, nice. So I wanted to ask, are you familiar with Canva?
I have played around with Canva, but very limited, I would say.
Okay, because I wanted to also know, if you compare this to Canva, which would you actually prefer to use?
So the, let me see if I can remember there. I think it's Microsoft 365 Designer. The Twitter account for Microsoft 365 Designer has a plan to do a Friday feedback question. It doesn't look like they've posted one today, but on the 18th, they posted something about video designs and Microsoft designers. And Canva is definitely ahead from a standpoint of features and flexibility. Canva has like a mobile app.
Yeah.
Designer still isn't optimized for like an iPhone or an Android device. My iPad works pretty well because I have a trackpad on it, so it functions, similar to a mouse on a PC or a Mac. But this is, kind of a similar design tool that's coming along from scratch, as opposed to Canva's been around for quite a while, right?
Yeah. I think I can't remember how many years, but I've been using it for some time.
So getting access to this beta or preview, also had me going back to, kind of compare and contrast what you could do with other tools. And I know Canva is one that's caught a lot of attention. And this is a tool that will be mobile friendly, that will have AI infused in it at various levels, and then does allow you through create.microsoft.com. They don't really necessarily focus on that page, but create.microsoft.com, if you find that URL, has a number of templates, which I know is a big value from a standpoint of Canva or some of the other utilities. If you're trying to create like a cover photo, for example, for Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, the create.microsoft.com has the cover photo and the header background for Twitter. For LinkedIn right now as a category, they don't have the background dimensions, but you can actually create from scratch, different types of images. Or with Facebook or Twitter, you can go right into like cover photo design templates that allow you to, instead of starting from scratch, get an idea of, what you might want to put behind your profile. And do you want to feature a photo behind the words, in front of the words, beside the words, that type of thing.
Nice. So for the design, I don't know what can you say about the layers when you're working with multiple images?
Yeah, so like this design where I've got multiple images and I laid them out, I think this was a design template to use as like a background in an event for LinkedIn. So I went to the LinkedIn event page. I looked at their recommendations for like the dimensions for using the background. And then I was playing around with, when you download the image, it definitely puts a watermark in the lower right. So that would cover up a portion of the lower right. You can remove the watermark if you want. But when I highlight these photos, like let's do Frank's, since he has kind of a background there, there's a remove background function. So I could go in here and for each of our photos, remove the background to maybe give this a little bit more of a consistent look and feel of us without maybe the background of our choosing. You can do some things with positioning. You can resize, and then you can also do some things here on the left.
Okay. For the image where Mika is, can you move it to the front, like the layer?
Yep.
Okay.
So I can set this position to bring to front. So it overlays on top of me or on top of, something else. And then same thing, I could put mine to the back, not bring forward, bring backwards, or send backwards.
Okay.
And then depending on where I am, maybe my open to work banner goes away.
Yeah.
Okay. It's fairly, can do a lot of stuff, really, can't it?
Yeah, it's been fun to play around with. And then they have under, I think it's text, Micah found something under styles. Micah found the brand kit. So if you were working for a company, Frank, what are Dell's colors? Is it still like that kind of blue, light blue?
Light blue.
On white typically, or do they have like other brand colors?
No, it's kind of blue and white.
Cool. Yeah. So even if they had like a palette of, besides blue and white and black and, maybe other things for partners like Intel. I know Intel uses kind of a blue and white or blue and silver on some of their logos. You could put together a brand kit of these are the, 5 or 6 different colors that we recommend for our branding. I think the brand kit also included the ability to put in body text and the fonts that you wanted to use. So Microsoft is working for about a year now on 5 different fonts, one of which is going to become the default for the Office applications. I still haven't seen an update on that, but I found it interesting that those 5 different fonts, including Seaford and Bierstadt and Grandview and 2 others that I can't recall off the top of my head right at the moment, are in Designer. So you could actually decide, you know what, I want to make a guess about which of those 5 is going to be the next default for Office. And whether those 5 get highlighted or whether one actually wins as the default will be interesting to see. Probably this year, I would imagine.
There's a lot of fonts there already, isn't there? Do you think they'll might do away with some of them, or?
I have no idea if they're planning to. I know with Office on my computer, Office has a number of fonts that I think are downloadable. So instead of loading all of them into my computer, I think with PowerPoint, for example, it allows me to actually pull down the fonts as maybe I decide to use them. So if I go into like a blank presentation and I go into my fonts menu, a number of these have the little cloud indicator.
Okay, so you just
we haven't loaded these, but if you wanted to use something like, Batang or Bierstadt, that new one, it's here and it's available to download. And then once it's downloaded, you get that different style. And then these, in some cases, in PowerPoint or other applications, you have the ability to save the fonts so that if the font isn't available on other platforms like the web or on a Mac computer or on a Mac computer to a Windows computer, I've seen there were ways in PowerPoint specifically to embed the font into the presentation so that the font actually traveled with the PPTX file. And then there's also ways to save a font that you've created as an image. So if I did a paste as a picture, the benefit to that is even if a computer didn't have this Bierstadt font or a browser or something, as a photo, then it becomes something that doesn't lose its font. The difficulty of the photo is that if I spelled something wrong or I wanted to change the color or something else, I've lost that capability because it's no longer considered text here in PowerPoint. I'm not sure if the same kinds of things hold true for the Designer, but you can actually upload media from your computer too. So I could pull from this device, from my phone with a QR code, Google Photos, Box, or Google Drive.
Nice.
Solomon,
I think Frank, you signed up, right? Did we send you an invite?
I've used it a few times now to make photos for the start of kind of blog posts and things like that, and
Cool.
I used it on LinkedIn as well to create kind of photos for posts, and it's because they're unique. You just make them, to the style you want them, and there's no the way a lot of the stock images, they have copyrights and things like that. So
yeah, true. Do you have any of your invites left? Do you know, Frank?
I can check that now, Dan.
Yeah, let me know.
Send one on to Solomon. Have you
Yeah.
you used all yours? Yeah.
I've used all mine from this account. I have one account somewhere that I had 3 invites left. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm thinking about populating a demo environment with several of the previews so that we could invite people to come into the demo environment as different accounts, and everybody would already have like an invite to participate using the designer preview.
Oh,
Somebody
nice.
else gave me that idea. I don't remember who.
So for the design, when you actually want to have an event, I think I can come up with a design, because there was a time I usually do designs with CorelDRAW and Photoshop, and I would like to test my skill with Microsoft Designer.
Yeah, I don't have any left in my one, Dan. So
I'll find my account that still has some. And Brian Jones, one of my my longtime techie buddies in the Chicagoland area, said that he'll take an invite. So I'll get him an invite as well. And then Solomon, the job, once you get it and once you download, is to share that invite with up to 3 people. It's the same code. So if you put it public, and I assume that Brian and you are going to get a code. Once the 2 of you have used it, I've used up 2 codes. And if somebody else sees it because it's public, you can run out of those 3 invites pretty quickly.
Oh, I see.
But if you keep track of who the 3 people are that you sent them on to, and then, eventually you could kind of, I guess, track down if it's people that that use the invites, you probably can find the people that still have invites available.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I had a post there recently from the Chat GPT. Their
You want to share
progress.
your screen?
Yeah. I'll just find that there now. This one.
Frank, I have to say, this is, I think, your first time producing, right?
Yeah. So can you see that
Congratulations.
screen?
I still think I am sharing. So let me
Yeah.
see if I can turn off sharing on my end.
I can actually remove yours. Okay.
Perfect. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Solomon, do you see Frank's desktop?
no,
or-
I can't
Okay.
see. So
One
once
second.
yours is up, I would.
If I click on present here now, should I
Yep.
be able to put my screen up? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Share screen. Can you see the screen there with the Chat GPT on it?
Not yet.
No.
So it should show up for you and Solomon at the bottom if it's
I
kind
can't
of like
see.
backstage. So you have to press present, and then you have to choose either share screen with a window or a screen. You can choose like the window of the browser or the entire screen.
Okay. So you just pick the.
I usually have had better luck with choosing the window than the entire screen personally, because of the resolution. I went with 4 screens because some of the screens I have are lower resolution. I thought that might help me with some of the resolution issues that I had.
Which dock station do you use for your first screen?
So I've had to play around with that. I just I used like a third-party dock because I couldn't get my Microsoft USB-C adapter to accept 2 connections. So I have this one, which has USB-C and an HDMI and a VGA. but
Oh,
I haven't been able to figure out if I can get 2 off my Surface Studio.
oh. I'm actually using iTech, and I think it's been doing the job so far.
So can you see my screen there, Dan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's coming through.
yeah. Some of these were I ran through these 2 weeks ago, Solomon. These are some of the AI ones that are in the news the last few days or the last couple of weeks. So I'll just give you a quick overview of some of them. So this is one Apple came up with. It's kind of came out with an AI voice for audiobooks. So, the way moderators would talk, make an audiobook. Well, they've got AI doing it now. So that's that one. The next one then, they've come up with a robot lawyer. This is actually going to go live in court next month, I think.
Wow.
So whereas the defendant in the court will have an app on his phone, and it'll
Who's
just ask
representing you?
whatever charges that the person is charged with, or what under what article of law, whatever. You just tell the AI, and the AI will respond back to him. So this has been around since 2016. There he is, the robot there. It got a lot of people off in the UK. You can see it there. 2015, sorry. So it was traffic tickets, something like I think they might have exactly the detail here. Yeah, so in 2000, since 2015, it's got a lot of people off it, parking tickets. Like, as you can see there, I got a parking ticket. Some parking tickets can be unfair. Like, you could park somewhere and you displayed your ticket, but it's just the AI is telling you different things how to get around it. So the same when it goes to court, like, so that's one anyway. The robot lawyer. So they actually have a list of over 1,000 different things that the lawyer can represent you on. So that's that one. Here's another one here. These are new power chips or MEM resistors that are going to power AI. So you can see the size 1 to 800 power. It's incredible. Like, so the future is definitely moving fairly quick. And here's the one we started off with there. Then that's our Chat GPT. This is revolutionizing the Alzheimer's kind of studies, So it's going to use speech patterns to identify and diagnose the Alzheimer's quicker. So they can kind of use different kind of behaviors, like down here, as you can see where they're highlighting. So mistakes in grammar, pausing, repetition, forgetting the meaning of words, things like that. So if they detect somebody has Alzheimer's earlier, they have, they can treat them, they can slow it down, so they'd have a better outcome in the future, So here onto the next one here. Okay, so I didn't have this one, and it was this Chat GPT anyway. Again, the next one, and here's just an example of the Chat GPT, and you know, what it actually is and what it does. Um, Earlier there, I just had a look because we're talking about AI, what sorts of training and certifications Microsoft has, and there is a lot of them. I just picked on the data and AI here over on the left, and it's brought up 98 of them, as you can see there. And there's got a certification path for the AI as well. There's just two of them there now that I just brought up for the AI engineer. They've got a fundamentals, and you've got the associate one here on the left. So if we just have a look into the fundamental ones, there you are. And it's a AI 900 is the one for that, and Microsoft Learn has the patch on it there. So it starts off with botnet services, and there's the Azure part of it. So they're all run on Azure. So cognitive services, more cognitive. And this one here, anomaly detectors, that's the one that they use in the security on Azure. So just to show you, this is the actual security, Microsoft Sentinel. And you can see there down the different ways it's detecting the stuff. Critical incidents guided by AI. So there's the AI part of the security. So this is how they actually configure it then inside the Sentinel. Microsoft have run Microsoft Docs, how to configure the whole thing. So that's just a bit of what we done in the first week there. So do you have any
That's cool.
questions on that, Solomon?
No questions.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think if I took the AI 900 or I'm about to. Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, but I think I need to take one of the exams if I've not. And
So
yeah,
what was the Azure part of the AI 900? What was it?
for
Was
me,
it more?
you said
What was the? What did you have to learn for the Azure part of the AI 900?
for the AI 900, I think I've not taken it, but I think you need to learn about visions, explore computer visions. I think is one of the learning parts you need to follow. Then we also have explore decision support and which other one? Artificial intelligence. I think that should be where you should be starting from with artificial intelligence, then visions. Then I also think you would probably learn about train data, where you talk about the I'm just trying to think. I can't remember, but I think I've not written the exam. But I know you would learn more about the computer visions. Artificial intelligence is like the fundamental. Then decision support is still one of the learning parts. Yeah, so
So
those are the ones that are
is there any machine learning in there?
machine learning. I don't know, but I for fundamentals, I don't know if there's machine learning there. So I think I've not taken that exam, or probably it's been a long time.
I'm just pulling up the Word document or the PDF for the skills measured here. Download the study guide. Artificial intelligence. Let's see if it's got machine learning.
That's the. Let me just check my
Yep.
this thing also. If let me.
Describe fundamental principles of machine learning on Azure. Percentage of exam decreased was one of the changes. Identifying common machine learning types, there's been no change. Describe core machine learning concepts. There have been major changes in the changelog as of April 2022. And capabilities of no-code machine learning and Azure Machine Learning Studio, minor changes. So it looks like they've definitely made some changes and put machine learning, fundamental principles of machine learning on Azure is 30 to 35% of the AI 900 exam.
Okay, I
No.
think the machine learning has the highest with natural language processing. Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to toss a link to that. Solomon, I sent you a direct message along with Brian so that you should be able to get into the designer preview.
Oh, thanks.
No problem.
So, Frank, have you attempted any of the exams? Have you written any of them for the AI?
I haven't done any of the AI exams, but I probably will going forward.
Okay.
I did a lot of stuff on machine learning about 2 years ago,
Okay.
and Microsoft has a great. Let's see, can I find it there? There's got a cheat sheet for. They have this Azure Machine Learning Studio. Have you any of you used that?
No.
I think I
Okay,
fired
so
it up once trying to prepare for the AI 900, but I don't use it regularly.
Yeah, I've done a few demos on it. All right,
That's
and
awesome.
the cheat sheet is very good. I think I should have a copy of it. I'll find it there now. Because it can kind of, if you're doing different or training different models, like if you've got, I think I might have been telling you this one before then, if you have, we say, something that's got two tracks, if you're going to get a yes outcome or a no outcome from something, you know, like kind of regression testing or linear testing or
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. If I had the picture now, it would be perfect. 1 second now.
And Frank, I don't think you're sharing your screen anymore. Just
Not
so
yet,
you know.
no.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure you knew.
Okay, they actually have it on Microsoft Learn. I'll just show you there now. So you can see my screen there again, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is the actual, this is on Microsoft Learn now, all this stuff is available. So I'll just zoom in on it here. So like the different types, so it's asking you what you want to do. So if you want to do regression testing, you can pick, when you go into the machine learning studio, you can set these values up to which ones you want to use to train your model, you know. So like, as I was saying, they're multi-class over on the right hand side there. Like, so if you wanted to just pick out one versus the other, you know, multi-class, you can just pick that one. Like something that predicts a yes or a no outcome of fraud on the data set or something like that, you know. So it's quite easy enough to set up if you use this machine learning algorithm cheat sheet. So it looks a bit frightening when you see it first, but if you have the machine learning studio opened, it's got all these kind of it's got a line down the side where you can actually pick these out from, and it's all drop and drag into the middle. So obviously you load your data set up the top of it, and then you drag your values, connect them all up together. So that's just something I'd share with you.
Neat.
Okay.
So are we going to be seeing demos from you?
Yeah, I suppose I will do one the next day maybe.
Okay, that'll be great.
Yeah. Like you can do it for lots of different things, you know. And
Yeah.
they even have a thing that you can actually output it out to a website, you know, as you run your model to, you know, if you're measuring temperature now or something like that, and you know, you can.
That's really cool. Yeah, so I know next week we had planned to have Noelle on, and I believe she'll
Okay.
be doing a demo. And the following week, Frank, if you want to check out the Sessionize link that I
Okay.
sent and see if it works, we can also advertise that
Okay.
to others and see if there's interest. I know Micah is going to join us next week. I'm not sure what her following Friday looks like. And I don't know if you want to do this weekly going forward, or if you want to chat about that and figure out.
Yeah. If we can keep it going for a while, we can. So I can.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks time, you want to do the Sessionize thing, and do you want me to do that demo for the machine learning studio?
Yeah, you're welcome to. If you want to try the Sessionize link just to make sure.
Yeah.
I think I tossed it out in the comments for this session.
I
And
suppose
just let me know if it works.
If I make a video of the demo,
Yeah,
and then upload it to the Sessionize, would that be, or do you want to do it live?
it's up to you. Like Sessionize, I don't think supports video directly, but we could certainly upload it to StreamYard and then either play it from StreamYard or even schedule it from StreamYard.
Yeah.
I know we had talked about that too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I see that functionality. So as if you couldn't make it at say 8 o'clock or 3 o'clock, you could just pre-record it and leave it go out then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And theoretically, that's the other thing that a lot of MVPs do is Microsoft Most Valuable Professionals, because you're being considered in the nomination process for your contributions. The more contributions you have, the better chances you have of being awarded, right? But if you have like maybe 3 or 4 demos, Solomon, to your point, Frank, once you have, a few more demos that you've done, which you've already done quite a few on Journey to the Cloud, one benefit to that is we can figure out different ways to showcase those different places. So you get credit whether you do the demo once, whether you do the demo twice, you get twice as much credit. If you do it, 4 or 5 times. And with StreamYard, it's easy enough for us to point or even schedule on, different places, like on our YouTube versus your YouTube, or, create these different places where we've had different people maybe viewing the session or interacting with the session, that type of thing. So figuring out different ways to showcase our community members at the Microsoft Speakers Club, I think, is another real critical piece of what we can do in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know. I was asking Solomon there earlier, like, was he looking to go for an MVP nomination or whatever? I don't know. Is it on your radar, Solomon? Or you
Well, for
just
if it comes, it's all good. But how will I put it? I'm just doing what I do, and if the MVP is part of the reward, then that's fine. Yeah. So I've been doing like training for about 2 to 3 years now, and I've not really looked at the MVP, but if it is something that can come in the future, yeah, I'll be very much happy to accept it.
The nomination's the easy part. You're already doing the work, but some of the processes, like without the nomination and the acceptance of the nomination, which is the other piece. Frank, you've been through this process. If you don't accept the nomination, you don't even have the opportunity to be considered. And then some of the feedback is, critical as well. So the community manager that you report to should meet with you and provide some feedback on, what you can do or what might strengthen your nomination in the future. And it's similar to any award. There's kind of a season, if you will, to when the awards go out, and some of that process is a little behind the scenes, if you will. It's not like the Academy Awards where it's yearly and you know exactly when, and if you were nominated, you're potentially going to win at the awards ceremony. It's totally different than that. So it's
so
something maybe we could talk to others about, their MVP journey, or share some tips and tricks there.
yeah. So for this show now this evening, I have it going out through LinkedIn and it's going out through my YouTube channel. So
Right.
would they be 2 separate tracks then, like, or would they be just the one?
Yeah, I would definitely list those separately. You should, with LinkedIn and YouTube, also get different, viewership and potentially comments. Like, I don't know if you saw any comments come through. Yeah, I see Shannon made a comment
Yeah.
on your YouTube. So Shannon's coming from the YouTube side of things. And then Brian and John and I've made a couple comments on the LinkedIn side, but you can consider those definitely 2 separate contributions. There may
Sure.
be different audiences. You might have had more people on YouTube or more people on LinkedIn. And the nice thing about both of those are they exist over time. So you could look at the statistics right after this. But if we promote those, you can look at those statistics, a week from now or a month from now too, and report
Yeah.
those to Claire.
Yeah, very good. So we can post this up on the Microsoft speakers as well, can't we?
Yeah. So we can schedule. The thing about the Microsoft Speakers Club is it also has LinkedIn Live capabilities. We have not set up we have a Twitter account for it as well. So I think we can go live on Twitter. And I set up verification. So I paid for the Microsoft Speakers Club, even though its Twitter account only has maybe 20 followers at this point. its Twitter account is verified. So we can use Twitter. And then if we set up a YouTube, we could talk about that. Should we set it up as, the AI show, or should we just use, Frank, your channel and my channel? And Solomon, I know you have at least one YouTube channel too, right? And
Yeah, I
Facebook
do.
maybe?
Yeah, I do have Facebook also.
Yeah. So you can also put it out, repurpose this, Frank, on Facebook Live, on your profile if you're on Facebook, which I believe you are, right?
Yeah, I don't use it really, Facebook.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I have a profile up there, but
Yeah.
nothing.
I'm the same. I'm
But I
using
have
it
a
less
Twitter
and less.
Twitter account, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can put it on Twitter too. I think it's the same process that you use to plug
Set
it
up
in
this one.
to two.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
can do up to 3 at a time. So the limitation for StreamYard, at least at the pricing level that I'm at, is you can only go to 3 sources at once
Okay.
at any one time. But that doesn't stop you from going to 3 sources, this evening in Ireland, going to 3 different sources, Saturday morning in Ireland, or whatever time you think might be good for other folks to view, kind of like a best of, or however you want to bill a rebroadcast or
Yeah.
reshooting or whatever.
Okay. So
Rerun.
we've reached our hour anyway. So
Yeah.
so we have a few things scheduled anyway. That's good. Next Friday and Friday after, and I think Matthew was talking about doing something then for February with Journey to the Cloud.
Yeah, I know we're going to meet in person here shortly in just about a week, and I've already got some things lined up. We're going to a concert in the Chicagoland area, and we're going to
Cool.
meet up with some MVPs and some Microsoft folks. I'm inquiring about the LinkedIn office in Chicago to see if I can find anybody that might be willing to give us a tour of the LinkedIn office, and
Cool.
figure out some other things to do with them. Frank, if you're ever over here, let me know. We'll figure out same kind of hospitality that you gave me over in Cork. I really appreciate it. That was
Okay.
awesome.
Nice.
Pleasure. So Dan, thanks for coming on, and Solomon, and we'll talk to you soon next week.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
So I'll just hit the end broadcast now, and we're done then. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.